cause y'all know what it is.
TNN Trap News Network.
I was with Rich Trapper.
I fucks with you.
What's the deal, y'all? What's the deal, y'all? What's the deal, y'all? Rich Trapper tapping in, TNN Trap News Network. Back in this thing, back in this thing. It's like cracking this thing here at TNN Trap News Network. It's that good news you can use. It's that good knowledgeito you're not finna get in nobody's collegeito. Make sure you hit that notification bell at the top. Hit all, stay tapped in for the latest and the greatest. Hit that like, hit that hype, hit that comment, hit that subscribe button, and make sure you hit that share button for everything we got going on here at TNN Trap News Network. Make sure you tap in. Leave a comment because we're going back to the chili giveaway. So when we get to 31,000 subscribers, we're going to make sure that we pick the best comment between now and 31,000 subscribers. And we're going to give you some chili, big dog. So it's important that you comment. It's important that you comment. It's important that you comment. Once we get 31,000 subscribers, we're going to make sure that we let y'all know an exact date and exact time that we will be doing a live to give away that money. You got Cash App, you got Apple Pay, you got Zelle, you got Venmo. Don't worry about it. We're going to make sure you get that chili. Make sure you hit that like button, that comment, that good subscribe button. TNN Trap News Network. We taking it back to the basics, man. Let's jump into this news. Still, y'all, Trapper tapping in TNN Trap News Network, man. Monday morning. For those of y'all who don't know, Mexico is currently at war. The Mexican government has taken down and unalived a head leader of the cartel, and they not happy about it, man. So it's war in the streets. We finna slide over to Fox 11 or Fox News and see exactly what's going on with it. Let's tap in with it.
We're following some developing news out of Mexico. Today, the Mexican army says they killed a powerful cartel leader.
I took a painkiller. I'm gonna just go. But I'm not gonna go crazy with the fight. I'm gonna just go through the progressions of the training.
During an
Morning, beautiful.
operation meant to capture him. The Defense Department says the leader of the Jalisco New Generation Cartel was wounded during that operation about 2 hours from Guadalajara, and he later died while he was being flown to Mexico City. And this is a very powerful cartel there in Mexico. The leader now killed by the Mexican army, according to the Defense Department there. For more on this story, let's bring in Chris Dalby. He is an investigative journalist and author of CJNG, a guide to Mexico's deadliest cartel. Thank you so much for being here, Chris.
It's an absolute pleasure, Shauna. Thank you for having me.
So you actually wrote a book about this particular cartel, the CJNG. The Associated Press calls it the most powerful cartel in Mexico. The U.S. Deputy Secretary of State described the leader as one of the most ruthless drug kingpins in the world. Can you tell us more about this?
Absolutely. If you've heard about the worst of Mexican cartel violence, you know, the most abhorrent acts, the bodies, the decapitated corpses, the videos, a lot of that begins with the CJNG. El Mencho is one of the most influential drug kingpins in the last 30 years. I would put him at the same level as Pablo Escobar and El Chapo when it comes to the quantity of drugs that his organization has moved in Mexico, in the United States, and further abroad. He is directly and indirectly responsible for the deaths of thousands of people in Mexico and through drugs in the United States. The problem is that while he absolutely deserved to face justice.
Yeah, it seems like it's leaving a power vacuum, and now one of them dudes is gonna step up and try to retain control. And when he step up and try to retain control, somebody else is gonna be like, nah, nigga, it ain't you. You ain't the joint like that. And then it's gonna turn into a problem and they finna be fighting over control.
Removing him removes the man who kept the CJNG united. And while the CJNG is extremely violent, by far the most violent cartel in Mexico, removing him will likely lead to 5 or 6 of his lieutenants turning on each other and ramping up the level of violence to perhaps record levels in Mexico to control the CJNG empire.
Yeah, because at this point, the most violent man will take over and, you know, fill that gap and fill that space. And then, you know, from there, it's just an all-out war. So,
And that's exactly what I was going to ask you. Now that he's dead, what does that mean for this operation? Who takes the lead? And will there be maybe more retaliation from the cartel now that this has happened?
You know, President Trump has rightly designated Mexican cartels as terrorist organizations. And El Mencho had a bounty on his head of $50 million. for anyone giving information that led to his capture.
$50 million? Yeah, they got him out of there, bro. $50 million? My nigga, $50 million is the dead or alive bounty. That's a DOA. That they can say, oh, we wanted him alive, we wanted him alive. You might have wanted him alive, but if we got him unalive, then that's just fine too. That's a DOA bounty for sure.
As I said, Almencho needed to face justice. But the kingpin strategy, as we call it, which is where you focus on removing the kingpin, the head of the cartel, and that's your sole focus, has a major problem. Because the kingpins are often the ones controlling an organization. And when they are removed, and we've seen it with Escobar, we've seen it with El Chapo, and we're going to see it with Almencho, that unifying force, that cult of personality goes away. There are 5 or 6 leaders of the CJNG, which I identify in my book, who all have significant manpower, drug trafficking potential, contacts in the US, money laundering options, and incredible finances and weaponry that they will absolutely use if they think that they can claim a piece, if not all, of the CJNG. To my knowledge, Almencho didn't pick a successor. To my knowledge, Almencho didn't go to his lieutenants and say, when I die, when I'm arrested, this is the next guy. He may have done, but we certainly have no information as to that. So right now, what we're seeing in Mexico, the immediate response is what we call the narco blockades or the narco bloqueos. This happens a lot when these top guys are removed. And the cartel wants to make a big show of, burning cars and blocking highways and blocking access to the airport. That often goes away within a few days, especially because the area in which they're being violent, Guadalajara, one of the biggest cities in Mexico, Puerto Vallarta, a place that millions of Americans go to on holiday.
Yeah, and it's crazy that Puerto Vallarta got hit because Puerto Vallarta is one of the biggest tourist spots in that area. It's huge for tourism, and that puts a lot of Americans at risk. When you put Americans at risk and you're doing that kind of stuff, it just pretty much shows how much you don't give a F about what's going on, for sure.
Is where the government is absolutely going to want to show we're not letting the cartel dominate this for long. After that, across Mexico, there are so many criminal economies that the CJNG was involved with. We're talking about tens of billions of dollars in criminal earnings that are now up for grabs.
Right now, we're showing some video, but you just mentioned those.
Yeah, I might even think about that. It's hella Chile up for grabs. It's hella space up for grabs. It's hella power up for grabs. Mexico is going to have a hard time figuring this one out.
Cars set on fire. The killing of this powerful drug lord setting off hours of roadblocks with those burning vehicles, both in Jalisco and other states. Can you talk a little bit more about this tactic that is commonly used by the cartels to block these military operations? How big of a scale is this? We also want to show a little bit of those images of the smoke that arose from these multiple car fires today. What do you take from this reaction from the cartel, and what more can we expect?
So information coming to me in the last hour has suggested that there's been some movement there. Yes, in the hours immediately after Almencho died, gunmen took to the streets, imposed a curfew on much of Guadalajara and Puerto Vallarta. Again, these are cities in Jalisco. This is their home turf. This is where we can expect a stronger reaction. But there were videos of gunmen at the airport. That appears to have been substantiated, but that situation appears to have been resolved. Police and army were able to retake control of Guadalajara airport. We don't have information about casualties yet, but the gunman never reached the tarmac. We're seeing videos shared online of burning planes or, the whole city on fire. Those seem to be fake news. In Puerto Vallarta, the Cruz port appears to have had a fire set there, preventing access. But again, those situations could probably be resolved in the next few hours to days, with perhaps some casualties, but a limited number. The problem is that Guadalajara is going to be a World Cup city in 5 months. Puerto Vallarta is one of the biggest tourism destinations.
Oh, snap. The World Cup is going there in 5 months? Okay, that's a strong political stance. Now, with that being said, the World Cup being there in 5 months, that's more so of a show of power, more so a show of force. Like, hey, this is what we got going there. On our sides of ours, they're basically showing that they're unstoppable. If the World Cup is in 5 months, and this is how they acting, they don't have a good goddamn about what's going on. They moving to the sound of their own drum for sure.
Mexico, and a constant place that Americans visit. That sort of reputational damage takes months or years to recover from. So what the CJNG has done here is, in an outburst of violence that might be controlled, create long-lasting economic ramifications for Mexico and the United States. I don't expect the violence in the medium to long term to be in the cities. I expect it to be in rural Mexico, in small town Mexico, where the drugs are going through, where the fentanyl is being manufactured, where the migrants are being smuggled, where the oil is being stolen. Because those are the areas where there are no tourists, there are few cameras, and the violence can happen almost with impunity. And that is a problem that Mexico is going to have to figure out. And I don't know to what extent the U.S. government is going to be interested.
So basically, it sounds like you're saying as long as they keep it in rural areas and in the agricultural part of Mexico, and away from the American tourists and away from basically the American currency and where they're affecting the world's dollars, they are right to fight their war. But as soon as the tourists get hurt from any major country, the country gonna go in and they're gonna shut it down.
In helping them, because the U.S. was very focused on El Mencho. What happens next is open for debate.
And the Defense Department says that during this operation to capture El Mencho, the Mexican troops came under fire. They ended up killing a total of 7 people, including the cartel leader. They also seized some armored vehicles, other arms, and rocket launchers, they say. So how big of a blow will this have to the cartel's operation, or might it weaken this powerful cartel there in Mexico?
The arrests and seizures of weaponry and killings outside of El Mencho are trivial. The Jalisco cartel has thousands of members and has enough weaponry to arm a small army. El Mencho was the cult of personality at the center of this cartel. Every video that they did showing their strength, every video that they did killing one of their opponents, every banner that they put up in their territory always ended with the same phrase: Somos la gente del Señor Mencho. We are the people of Mr. Mencho. He really ruled with an iron grip, and that's what I mean by his removal is so dangerous. Because when you have a cartel, and it's unique in Mexico, not even El Chapo with the Sinaloa cartel have this sort of sole power. El Mencho founded the Jalisco cartel. No other person has ever come close to toppling him, and no one really knows what happens next. So it is definitely going to weaken the Jalisco cartel. I don't even know if the Jalisco cartel is going to survive in its present form, because it is now very tempting for these lieutenants to go out on their own, either to maintain their own operations and keep the money, or to try and take control of the entire CJNG empire.
Chris, we really appreciate your insight here. Anything else that you want to point out about this cartel, the significance of what happened today in Mexico, or what you're going to be watching moving forward here?
Yeah, I want to make one thing very, very clear. While El Mencho, again, needed to face justice, is one of the most influential drug traffickers in the history of North America. His removal in itself doesn't stop the drug flow. His removal will weaken one cartel temporarily. There are always more kingpins. There are always more drug traffickers. The demand for drugs in the United States and the potential for criminal violence and enrichment in Mexico is such that within a few weeks to a few months, that situation is going to be normalized. So removing El Mencho is a positive step.
But then all you did was leave a power vacuum open for 3 more people to potentially take his space, because it's not going to be over no time soon.
But it can cause more instability, and that instability can cause more violence, and that violence can cause a greater amount of drugs and a greater amount of money for the cartels. So net positive, I'm not sure we can say that.
We will definitely be watching to see what comes next. Thank you so much. We really appreciate your insight here, Chris.
All right, man, that's a quick breakdown of exactly what's going on in Mexico, man. Cartel wars are at the keep finna keep you guys with more information than anybody else over here at TNN Trap News Network. Y'all know the deal, man. We finna get up out of here, though. We're Sharper signing out, TNN Trap News Network. Hit that like, hit that hype, hit that get subscribe button for here at TNN Trap News Network. News you can use now that you ain't finna get nobody's college. We
Apollo Jackson. It's dangerous. You can't come outside when it's dangerous. Work all in the floorboards. Tell the ops check the scoreboard. You can't come outside when it's dangerous. And if you shoot, you ain't miss. A nigga ball like game 6. A nigga ball like game 6.
You can't come outside when it's dangerous. Got Gotta get the blicky when it's dangerous. Young niggas, we done came from Nathan. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Ballin' like us niggas up in game 6. Missy with the bullshit, you can save it. Ballin' like us niggas up in game 6.
Game 60 bands on my neck when I got it on me. And I remember I was broke, I never let them hold me. Final seconds with my back against the wall, 81 point strong with this K, I call it Kobe. Running through this lettuce, nothing you can tell it. Gotta watch my back, I know that they get jealous. Real shit, I got rich, ain't gotta embellish. Real life made men, they call us good fellas. And I ain't got anxiety, I know it's intuition. May never love a bitch, but I for sure play my position. I know the streets talking, I'm cracking, so I ain't tripping. I said I play for keeps, but I guess them niggas ain't listening. Sick like Jordan, call it game 6. Shoot like Curry and I can't miss. Nah, you can't come outside when it's dangerous. You niggas never outside when it's outside, nigga.
You can't come outside when it's dangerous. Gotta get the blicky when it's dangerous. Young niggas, we done came from Nathan. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Ballin' like us niggas up in game 6. Missy with the bullshit, you can save it. Ballin' like us niggas up in game 6.
I've been winning, tell my ops check the scoreboard. Money in the attic, work all in the floorboards. Late night, that's the life that we pray for. Overtime with the pack is what we in the game for. Put myself in the game and everything is just a memory. Made a couple plays for the pain, not an enemy. Gotta watch my friends more, I gotta watch the enemies. Fake is hella fake, I know what enemies' intentions. I let it go until it click if I'm aiming. Started staying safe and ended up staying dangerous. Game on the line, see the pressure I can take. Hall of Fame shit, so if it's mine, I'ma take. Niggas sick like Jordan, call it game 6. Niggas shoot like Curry and I can't miss. Niggas never outside when it's dangerous. You niggas never outside when it's dangerous.
You can't come outside when it's dangerous. Gotta get the blicky when it's dangerous. Young niggas, we done came from Nathan. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Ballin' like us niggas up in game 6. Missy with the bullshit, you can save it. Ballin' like us niggas up in game 6. You can't come outside when it's dangerous. Gotta get the blicky when it's dangerous. Young niggas, we done came from Nathan. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Ballin' like us niggas up in game 6. Missy with the bullshit, you can save it. Ballin' like us niggas up in game 6.
Safe like Jordan, call it game 6. Shoot like Curry and I can't miss. You niggas never outside when it's dangerous. You niggas always inside when it's dangerous. Shoot like Curry and I can't miss. Niggas sick like Jordan, call it game 6. Niggas never outside when it's dangerous.